HBO's The Last of Us show is finally here, and the premiere episode showed us a peek into what to expect in the series going forward. Today I'll be giving my impressions of the show and discussing what I think worked, and why I'm excited for the future of the series. The premiere episode of the show was a whopping hour and 20 minutes of runtime, almost as long as a feature film. But I have to say, in all honesty, I don't think the episode feels as long as it is. The pacing is handled incredibly well, there's always something compelling happening, whether it be character moments or tense action sequences. I hope future episodes of the show won't be as long, as I simply don't think they'd be able to sustain the same pacing all the way through the series. However, I think it works for a premiere and probably for a finale episode as well. I can't speak for those who haven't played the game who are experiencing the show for the first time, but as someone who's familiar with the story, I was still compelled all the way through this episode. The show, while almost identical to the game in many ways, does stray from the source material in a few small places by introducing a few new minor characters, scenes and scenarios that were never before seen in the games, just expanding on the world. I think doing this was the right way to go, as it gives players who are familiar with the game's story a few fresh, new moments to look out for, while offering viewers who haven't played the games a deeper, more engaging story. For example, the neighbor's place that Sarah visits during the opening outbreak, this was something that was never in the game and serves as a brilliant scene to set the tone of the show and give us an early look at the clickers in action. In fact, almost everything to do with Sarah in this episode before the main outbreak is completely original to the show, and the more time we spend with her, the more heartbreaking her inevitable death felt. I think another great thing the show handled better than the game, in my opinion, was at the end when the security guard is holding the group up at gunpoint. When Joel beats him to death, it feels way more raw and anger-driven than the game counterpart. It really showed us the parallel he felt in this moment to when his daughter was killed. And I have to mention the cast of this show. They really just nailed the casting, in my opinion. Both Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey nail their mannerisms of their respective characters from the game, and I'm eager to see where they go from here. The supporting cast was also great, with the highlight for me probably being Tommy. I'm excited to see him going forward as well. I think it's too early to tell if the show will surpass the bar set by the original game story-wise, and I don't think it will, but I think it will definitely reach a level of notoriety that it's at least on the same level as the original game, quality-wise. After all, it's a different medium and you have completely different experiences consuming either type of content. I have seen some discussion online already about the show, with the majority of people loving it, but there is a vocal minority that think the show is insulting to the source material because it isn't a one-to-one remake of the game's story, and to that I just say, please shut up. As I said previously, these are two completely different mediums of storytelling, and what works in one medium may not entirely translate into another. There's a reason movies and TV based on video games always traditionally suck, and it's because usually the source material isn't designed for an on-screen narrative. And sometimes there's no real narrative at all, and filmmakers just have to basically create an entire original story. But Naughty Dog's games have always strived to be a cinematic experience. I think in their design philosophy, they want you, the player, to feel like you're watching a movie while being an active part in it. Now, I'm not exactly a fan of these types of games. I will admit they're great when they're done right, but I feel Naughty Dog's game design can often leave something to be desired. But video games designed with this kind of philosophy leads to longer form storytelling that in theory can be translated onto screen in a more natural way, which in theory would lead to higher quality movie and shows based on their IPs. And I think HBO's The Last of Us is great evidence of that. Some people may counter that by saying, well, Uncharted is a Naughty Dog property and that movie sucked, so your theory's wrong. But to that I say, Hollywood is stupid. Uncharted was a product first and a movie second. Casting A-list actors like Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, I think, is proof of that. They didn't resemble their video game counterparts whatsoever, and they were just simply cast as big names to throw on the poster. And sure, you could probably argue the same thing about Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, both being pretty high-profile actors nowadays. However, I think they more resemble their video game counterparts. Ellie's this hot-headed but endearing, pissed-off kid, and Joel is this badass but depressed sad boy loner old man. They just really nailed it with the casting on this one. I know I already talked about it before, but it's just so damn good. I'm really excited for the rest of the series. It seems all very promising so far, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments as well, but those were all my opinions so far. Anyways, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want any more videos covering the Last of Us show. I was thinking I probably might do another one when the series comes to an end, and I'll cover the whole thing. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. And on a channel note, I know it's been a while since a video, and I do apologize for that. There's been a lot going on with me personally lately, so it's been tricky finding the time for YouTube, but I appreciate any of you for sticking around, and I'll be releasing as many videos as I can this year. I've got plenty of scripts in progress at the moment, with one pretty big video on the way, so stay tuned for that. I know you guys are looking forward to more Marvel stuff. That's also on the way. Just be patient. You shall be rewarded. Anyways, thanks for watching again. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one.